Guys, Ray from loveyourrv.com. So as promised, I'm back with my review of the Haloview Sens 3 blind spot radar system for RVs. Now, I installed this about 2 months ago, and I've been using it ever since. We've gone probably around 1,000 miles crisscrossing the U.S. Southwest desert in our 30-foot fifth wheel trailer. The Sens 3 radars functioned as advertised, providing me visual alerts via the LED indicators that are located on the left and right sides of the dash. And out of hundreds and hundreds of passing vehicles, I've really only noticed it didn't sense a vehicle and alert me maybe one or two times. So far I have to give it thumbs up for accuracy. There were occasional fault signals, like when turning corners and passing by certain stationary objects. This is to be expected according to the product manual. I find it didn't happen often enough to be annoying. The Sens 3 also has the ability to learn, and it can optimize itself as you drive, so I imagine its accuracy will improve over time. The actual control box itself that sits on the dash, its battery life I found to be excellent. After a recent 7-hour tow session, the box still had 3 of its 4 battery life bars displayed. There is a hardware power feed that can plug into the 12-volt power socket, like the cigarette lighter socket, but I actually prefer not to have any extra wires on the dash if I can help it. So instead I recharge between uses, so long battery life is a must, and this unit passed that test. As far as wireless operation goes, I encountered no problems. Using it on my 45-foot rig, the signal between the radar sensors at the back of the trailer and the control box sitting on the dashboard was solid.
At least the road is all nice.
Yeah.
How's that for an angle?
Good. So let's get to my likes for this unit. Number one, it works, almost 100% detection rate in my experience. Wireless, so it's easy to install. There is other products on the market, but you have to tear apart things and run the wires all through your RV and your trailer and then into your truck to make it work. So having it wireless makes it pretty well dead simple installation. Works for vehicles up to 65 feet, they say. Like I say, mine's 45 feet and I had no issues at all with it. It uses a radar called frequency modulated continuous wave. I kind of did some research on this radar, and it's quite sophisticated. By using that type of radar, it can find the speed of the target and also the range of the target. It also kind of gives it, instead of a dead straight shot, it kind of makes a cone of radar, so it can kind of get a 3D look at the landscape, and that really helps it deal with any other noise that might be in the environment and only concentrate on what it's looking for. The range of the radar is up to 70 meters, which is 230 feet. What I found is the faster the vehicle was approaching me from behind, the earlier the warning, so the longer the distance. If something was creeping up to me very slowly, it would almost get to the back of the RV before it would warn. But if there was some speedster coming barreling along and going to pass me, I got a lot earlier warning, so that worked out well. The radar units have a pretty low power usage. It's 360 milliamps is the rating, so about a third of an amp. It also has a low power sleep mode, so if you're not using it, it'll just go into low power sleep. I actually put mine onto my marker lights, so when I turn the lights off, then it goes off, so I don't really have to worry about that. But it does have a sleep mode to it to save power. It also, the hardware, the actual sensor that sits on the outside of the RV at the back is IP69K waterproof. And I looked up the rating on that, and that's like you could shoot a pressure washer at it and it wouldn't leak. So very waterproof, shouldn't have any problems there. And like I had mentioned before, it learns and optimizes as it's used over the 1,000-kilometer period. It will get to know, the driving environment and get more accurate. The rechargeable box has a 60 hours runtime, the control box, and on the control box they use a USB-C power connection, which I like, versus the micro USB. The C it can plug in either way, so it just makes it less finicky to plug the power in. It also has its GPS for vehicle speed information is built into the box. There are other similar stuff on the market where they're using your OBD2 sensor on the vehicle. You have to put in a dongle to that, and then it picks up the speed of the vehicle through that. This uses its own GPS, and it seemed to find its GPS pretty quick when you turned it on, and didn't seem to glitch very much at all. I guess if you're going through a tunnel or something, you're going to lose it, just like your GPS on your routing. It has different speed adjustments for the activation of the radar, so you can have it set to 0. That means it'll go off when you're just sitting still, and then there's 6 miles an hour and 17 miles an hour and 30 something miles an hour that you can set it before it'll actually come on. And the weird figures of miles an hour, I think it's more set for like kilometers, so 10 kilometers and 30 kilometers and 50, that sort of thing. But anyway, that's nice to be able to adjust for that. There's also 4 levels of setting for the LED indicator, how bright they're going to be, and also the sound alert indicator, how loud it's going to be. There's actually optional battery packs available versus hardwiring the unit in. Personally, I wired mine hard into the trailer, into the running lights, like I said, but if people don't want to drill any holes in their trailer or figure around how to wire it, you can actually get the optional battery packs. I think there's a battery pack that comes with a system that comes with 2 battery packs, that's 4 hours of life. Or there's a more expensive one where you can get 4 of them, and that will give you 8 hours of life. Overall, the quality of the hardware looks pretty good, and it comes with a nice little storage case, almost like a Pelican type case, so everything can fit in there if you're doing it where you pull everything off. Everything's that you need is included with the installation, right down to tape measure and stuff like that. There's several options for mounting the radar units on the back of the trailer or your RV. You can fix mount them like I did, where I actually drilled and screwed them right into the back. My trailer is older. I've done so much mods, I'm not worried about putting some more holes in it. But you can also, there's a magnetic option if, say, you have a metal RV or on a bumper or something like that. Or it comes with a 3M tape thing that you can stick onto the back of an RV and then use the magnetic discs to hold it on. So you can take them on and off as you need. And finally, Haloview is a pretty well-known wireless company. They've been making the rear view cameras for many years. I've used a number of their cameras and I haven't had any issues with them. They've always performed pretty well for me. So that's all my likes, quite a list. Here's some kind of dislikes or things I think they could change and improve on. The audio alert, the beep, I found is a bit harsh. It's kind of like almost scares you when it comes on. It really alerts you, but it's kind of annoying, especially if you were having it in traffic and people are going by. It alerts on your passenger side. So if you get into a point where you're in the center lane and people are passing you on the right, it would be constant, these beeps going off. So I'd like to actually see different tone options included, not just the big beep. It'd be something, kind of like cell phones where you can choose some less harsh, more pleasing tone. Also, I'd like a way to easily target the audio alert. Say a voice command, or better yet, maybe a switch on the alert lights. Like the one that near the driver, I can easily just reach over with my hand, and I could, if they had a switch on it, or if the actual button was a switch, I could turn that alert on and off very easily. Mostly if you're driving along on the interstate or the highway, I want the alert because I'm almost always in the right lane, and sometimes I want someone coming merging off an off ramp. I would be alerted if they're in that space. But if I pull off and drive through a city and I happen to be in the left lane, it's going to be constant people going by me. So to turn off the audio alert, then I got to reach over on the dash, which isn't safe, to try to monkey with the control box. So I think it would be nice to have that option. And the LED indicators, they're come with a 3M mount, so you have to stick them on your pillars or your dash. I think it'd be nice if they include some type of magnetic mount for them, or a Velcro mount. I know I could do it myself, go out and find the products, but I think it'd be nice if they had options already for you. And finally, it is an expensive item for an average RVer, someone who does this occasionally. Right now there's $7.99 for the one system, and then $8.99 and $9.99 for the ones that have the batteries. So it's still cheaper than having a fully hardwired system installed, but it's still a pretty big chunk of cash. Personally, for me, I don't know if I'd actually buy it myself, mainly because I already have on my Ram, I have very nice big mirrors. And also I have the Haloview rear camera that's a wide angle, so I don't really have a lot of blind spots on my RV. So it's basically one of those things where it's not a must-have for my particular rig, but it's more of a nice-have item. I'm kind of used to it now, having it. It's kind of nice, but I don't know, say my rig burned tomorrow and I had to get a brand new RV, it wouldn't be one of the must-haves. I definitely want to get the rear view camera again, but this would be a little further down on the list. Anyway, that's my review of the Haloview Sens 3. There's be links in the description if you want to check into it further. Till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Cheers, everyone.